If you're studying medieval art and architecture, Paris is the place to be. The Cathedral of Notre Dame, the first stone was laid in 1163, even though before then there had been a number of churches on the site. The reliefs that we're going to look at here depict a story about a very ambitious clerk. It's basically like a medieval Faust legend, where this clerk decides that he really wants to advance, and so he sells his soul to the devil in return for a higher office. So we have Theophilus, and the devil has his big arm around him, and there's actually a Jewish intermediary shown and has a pointed hat. And you see that they're holding a contract in their hands and that there's a little seal dangling down from it. Then in the next scene in the middle, it's where he's been beheaded, so is the Virgin, but he's regretting his decision and he's praying to the Virgin who's seated above him. And then in the final scene, we see the Virgin pulling the contract away from the devil, who has a very startled expression with a wide open mouth. I think it's quite interesting that this iconography of a miracle of the Virgin, so this is something that's not even in the Bible, it's repeated twice on the north side of the cathedral, the part that was facing the cloister, and this is where the canons from the cathedral chapter would have their special private entrance. It could be there for a number of reasons, but one of them could be to remind them about that they should not be too ambitious and that they should stay in their place. It's not just me standing there giving a lecture, but it's a conversation and with very knowledgeable people. Even if they don't know very much about medieval art, they bring all their life experiences to the walk, and then it usually leads to some very interesting discussions. And then I'd say almost every single time it leads me to say, oh wow, I never thought about that before, and I go home and look it up, and it's very exciting.